Good morning, Miss Williams. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing real good. And for our audience, I'm Steve Gubb with the Business Development Center at ODU. We're part of the Work Virginia Workforce Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center. And what we're doing is we're taking the time to chat with some of our clients. And what we're doing is finding out where they are in their journey as as a startup and how far along they've gone. We're looking also at lessons learned. What has really worked well for them, and what they would like to do, wouldn't do it again if they had a chance, or would they do a little bit differently. And the purpose is for anyone looking at this video is to share with you, of course, the clients' successes, such as Maxxtell Creations. I want to say solutions, some Maxxtell Creations. Share what Maxxtell Creations has done well, but also to share with, again, those lessons learned, so you don't, as a viewer, maybe you take it under consideration and you don't spend unnecessary money that we all know as a startup you need. So, Miss Williams,
Yes.
Maxxtell Creations LLC. So, what
Ye-
is Maxxtell Creations LLC? What do you do?
oh, All right. So Maxxtell Creations LLC is a graphic design business. So our mission is to deliver quality and far-reaching graphic solutions that foster powerful connections. We work with other organizations, other small business owners, other entrepreneurs within the community and across the globe. Our goal is to craft those innovative designs and thought ideas that they have to ensure that the vision is captured in the most creative manner. We believe that creating a visual concepts will allow them to transform the way their customers view their brand. So it's like a win-win. Our main goal is to take the pressure off of other business owners and organizations as it relates to their branding and marketing, allowing them to focus on the business development and leaving the branding, marketing, and design to us.
Wow, that's a really good. I mean, that was just zip right through. I really like. You mentioned in when you were doing the talking about your company, you talked about powerful. I like powerful. And my grandfather was one of these ministers up in the hill, and
Mhm.
powerful has a real connotation with it. But when you say powerful connections, what is that? What is powerful
So
connections?
powerful connections. It's because we like to gain that rapport. First, we want to build that relationship, and then after the project is complete, we don't just stop there. We keep engaging. We continue to follow up. We create that connection with the clients that's a lasting that lasts forever. So it's very powerful in the consultation sessions and throughout the term of the project that we over deliver, giving them that reassurance that they can maintain their business operations without having to feel so stressful with the design side of it. So just keeping that rapport and keeping that connection really close creates that powerful and long lasting relationships.
Okay, well, very good. Okay, what is so well? When did you start? When was the
So we officially started with registration and everything in 2016. However, I have been doing business projects and graphics and things since approximately 2005, when my mom came up with the vision that we needed to do something to create a legacy. And with my expertise and background in computer information systems, undergrad and graduate, I've always had a feel and a thing for gadgets, and I always had a feel for, technology and seeing how things work. But I also dug deep down and pulled out the creativity side of it. So always having that feel for graphic design at a very early age, I decided to continue to pursue, the vision.
Yeah. Well, you say 2016, so you were right into it the when COVID hit.
Right. So 2016, like I said, I had been doing projects and things prior to that, but to get everything fully registered and legit and everything, 2016 pretty much was our target date. And so business has been going since then, and then right on into, like we said, the pandemic. So I was unexpectedly laid off from my 9 to 5 job during the pandemic. So that forced me and pushed me to really go heavy in my business operations, which is how I tapped into different resources and different organizations and development centers, such as you all, for assistance and help in those areas to pursue the opportunity. Because at the end of the day, my business and leaving a legacy was pretty much all that I have as a for sure thing to do from being laid off. So it really pushed me into full-time entrepreneurship. So far, it's been like 2 years of full-time entrepreneurship, just business operations only. And it's been a great thing. And like I said, leading up to the pandemic timeframe, it's as if God was preparing me for that moment. So getting things in place, getting the business structured, getting connections built, and just building different resources and tools and getting them in place.
So you didn't just all of a sudden say, okay, I got the business, I'm stopping everything. You actually,
No.
you had a business and you were doing, I would assume like what most startups, good number of startups do, you're working evenings and weekends, and you're building it in tandem.
Absolutely. So being a wife, a mom, a friend, entrepreneur, member of different organizations and things, I tackle like all of that. So along with the transition from the 9 to 5 to full-time entrepreneurship, I also was able to publish my first book, which
Oh,
is
really?
called The Purposeful Pandemic Pivot. So in that book, it pretty much outlines and it talks
I like
about,
the title. I just like the,
thank
there's
you.
a lot of P's there, but I
A
really
lot
like
of P's,
it.
and if you look at it, it's like the PPP. So everything happened around the time of the pandemic. Um, it was purposeful because, like I said, if I had not been forced to transition out of the 9 to 5, then all of this that was built up inside of me would never have been able to come out to help others. So in the book, I explain how to balance being the wife, the mom, the worker, the sports mom, all of that, and operate your business. But keeping in mind that if you have that vision for the business operations to continue to pursue it, so that you're prepared when an unexpected interruption happens, as it did for me.
So here you are, you're a wife, a homemaker, and you got children, you got everybody, all the thing goes along with that.
Mm-hmm.
You got a business going, so you have
Mm-hmm.
a degree, and you're working your degree and all that, so you got that going on. Then you
Yeah.
got a business going on the
Mm-hmm.
side, and you said you were into organizations. When did you
Yes.
sleep?
So, so that's a great question. So one of my key words to that is called balance. And the way I balance is making sure that I have a set structure, making sure a set schedule, making sure within my schedule, I am maximizing the 24 hours in a day. And I go into details of my book with a real big detailed breakdown. So within 24 hours, I have to make sure that it is really being balanced out. And that includes having time for family time, personal, professional, organizational, and just being able to have that set schedule and set those boundaries. Creating my availability as it relates to my daily lifestyle helps me balance. One thing that I can say is without having the 9 to 5, that took a lot of pressure off, because now those 8, 9 hours a day that I was working for someone and then coming home trying to fit in family time, fit in daycare, fill in all of that. I now have that time as being open. So now I can adjust my schedule more, manage my schedule, and maintain it more. But overall, it takes a balanced schedule, and being able to really, really set aside different things to do throughout the day in a creative way within those 24 hours.
Well, that's okay. That's, it sounds like it's gone well for you.
It really has. It really has. And like I said, with the pandemic and the transition, it's been a great thing, because there were times I was burnt out. I admit, you can get burnt out. But being able to really grasp the concept and understand why it happened and the reason behind it happening, now I see, that it has to happen. So now I feel much peace. I can control my schedule, still have family time, still balance out extracurricular activities and not have to feel guilty about it, like rushing my son through the activities to get back home to finish up housework and things like that. It's just so much better now.
But if you had to do it all over again,
Mm-hmm.
let's go back in time. 2016, you had to do it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some things you would have done differently?
Yes, I would say right now, and then tackling into with the business center and really going through those courses and understanding the actual business development process. Even when I was going through the business planning process and those details, it really made me rethink my business operations. So I would say, yes, I invested in like business coaches, marketing coaches, and things like that, but they were just coaches as opposed to like the business development, the business center, who had that accountability and those hands-on like course development, business development courses and things right there. So I would say I would maybe flip-flop. So tap into those resources first, then maybe have that extra mentorship or coaching and things like that. I mean, it works out because even though I feel it was kind of out of order the way I did things. So to answer your question, if I had to go back, I would definitely put resources such as the Women's Business Center, and other resources within the community and the different tools and things in place as it relates to business startup and development.
So again, also I would assume that the price at the Women's Business Center at the ODU and Business Development Center, the price of nothing really helps quite a bit.
Exactly, and I feel that for that and all that we get with it, it's definitely a steal. I mean, it's just so much. Like I said, if I had invested afterwards, after going through this, into the coaching and things, different things like that, I think it would be a little different because I would feel everything just really flowing instead of me coming back trying to revamp some things. But it's all in business.
We call lessons learned. You know, and you got to go. And you got to go, as they say, let it go. You know, because again, but hopefully you come back. But then it's helping you to tweak your model and even get better. And now you have the experience. You can look back and go, I understand what they're talking about.
Exactly. And that's exactly how I felt because I was applying everything all together.
Well, I've got two final questions here.
Okay.
One is you keep mentioning this book. Where can people get the book?
Okay, so my book is available on Amazon. It's like I said, the title is The Purposeful Pandemic Pivot.com. Or you can go to my website if that's easier, which is www.maxxtellcreations.com. That's MAXXTELL creations.com. And it's a tab that says order my book. We have,
and for our viewers, what I'll do is I'll
put
it somewhere down and over on her side, wherever she's showing up.
Right.
I will put that down below and edit that in for you.
Okay, and I have the ebook as well as paperback books. Paperback books will receive an autograph copy. And also inside of both of them, I have the QR code so that a person, once they read a specific section, you can scan that QR code and it's going to give you an actual live video of me sharing more transparent moments so that you can connect them with what you just read.
Well, that's wow.
Yes.
And you did this. When did you do the book?
So, like I said, the push took place. We released it August of last year. It took place after I was laid off from my 9-to-5 job. So last year was when we released it, and we released the ebook like a few months after. But the QR codes are still there and available to click the links to my YouTube.
Is it done well?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so who knew that in 2016 you would actually be a published author?
Exactly, as a result of a pandemic and the things that took place during it. So I didn't let the pandemic like really stress me or the unemployment really stress me. I kind of flipped it and turned it into a more empowerment platform.
Wow. Okay. Well, I would encourage people to, matter of fact, I'm interested in the book. I would encourage people taking a look at the book and stopping by at Maxxtell Creations LLC. And again, thank you for your time this morning.
Yes.
And I appreciate you being with us again. This is Steve Goad with the Business Development Center at ODU.